facility, 1,000-bed facility, can continue to be expanded. We're looking at other locations as well. We've had several other states that are actually using Alligator Alcatraz as a model for how they can partner with us as well.
What are some of those? Are there other states?
I'm having ongoing conversations with 5 other governors about facilities that they may have. You know, I haven't asked those governors if I can share their names, but announcements will be coming soon. As you all know, we need to double our capacity in detention beds because we need to facilitate getting people out of this country as fast as possible and to sustain our operations. But those governors have been fantastic. I will tell you, they are all Republicans. So I would challenge some Democrats to start taking care of your states, partner with us.
Maxwell said, "I don't give a fuck." Democratic Representative Maxwell Frost is pulling up to Alligator Alcatraz to tell us what the conditions look like at the facility.
So I am on my way to the Everglades detention facility, Everglades internment camp. What happened is about a week ago, all the Florida Democratic members of Congress planned an unannounced trip here. And the reason why we wanted to do it unannounced is because we've heard all these reports.
Now, just for context, he's referring to the Miami Herald reporting from earlier this week that said that giant bugs, heat, and hospital visits are plaguing the Alligator Alcatraz within its first days. Remember, this is in the Florida Everglades where they have grasshoppers the size of people's hands jumping into the tent. The biggest mosquitoes people have ever seen in their lives coming into the tent, flying over them in the cells and biting them on the face, not letting them sleep. Air so hot being inside of the tent that people can barely breathe because it's 96 degrees outside of the tent, but inside it feels like the temperature of 105.
Horrible conditions. And when you show up unannounced, you're able to see things how they really are. So we're on our way right now. We're here in the Everglades, and we're here to conduct our legal right to conduct oversight on the facility. I have a binder full of questions that we're going to be asking and filling out with some specific information on detainees from Central Florida and from our area.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about a funny story, a hilarious story involving Democrats freaking out after finally getting let into Alligator Alcatraz because they've been begging and pleading. Can we see the illegals, please? We want to see the illegals. We want to know how they're living. We want to know if they have a comfortable bed. Do they have pillows? Running water? How do they shower? What are they eating? Right? They're very concerned about the livelihoods of the illegal immigrants who, again, came into the country illegally. Now, the irony here, okay, is that the Democrats are complaining about things that, for whatever reason, they had no problems with when Obama was in office, when he had kids in cages, because he built the kids in cages, him and Biden. And when Biden was in office, where he also had illegals in cages, wrapped in what looks to be aluminum foil, right? He had illegals in aluminum foil. And they were crying foul when Republicans went and filmed the conditions that the illegals under Biden were living in. Take a look.
Please respect. Please give dignity to the people. Please give dignity to the people.
So you work for the commissioner, your senior advisor. You were hired 2 weeks ago, and you're instructed to ask us to not have any pictures taken here.
Please respect the people,
because the political
rules.
Leadership at DHS does not want the American people to know it.
Please respect the rules,
You keep
sir.
standing in front of the pictures, so
Please
you don't want the
respect the
pictures
rules.
taken. The rules are arbitrary, and
Please
they're
respect
designed
the
to
rules
keep
and
the
give
American
the
people in the dark.
dignity and respect. That's all we ask.
Well, no,
dignity
it's
and
not.
respect.
You're asking, is this
Please-
dignity and respect? Look at
Please
these people.
give
There's a
dignity and
pandemic.
respect to the people.
Let me ask you. There's a
I
pandemic.
respectfully ask you, sir.
There is a pandemic.
With
Is this
full-hearted,
respecting the rights of these
full-heartedly,
kids?
I ask you. Please
Are you
respect
respecting the
people.
rights of these
This
kids?
is not a zoo, sir. Please don't treat the people.
You're right, and this is a
as such.
dangerous place.
Please don't treat the
And
people
your
like
policies,
this. That's all I ask for
unfortunately,
you,
are
sir.
trying to hide them. I understand
That's
you
all
were
I ask
instructed
you.
when 18
I
senators
ask you
came
to
down
please
here.
respect the people, give them dignity
I
and
respect
respect.
them, and I want to fix this situation.
We all want
and
to fix
the
this, sir. We
administration
don't
you're
want
working
this to
for is
happen anymore.
responsible for these conditions.
Please respect the people with dignity and respect,
And
sir.
I ask you to respect the people as well. This
I am
is not
respecting you.
respect.
I am respecting the
This
people.
is not respect.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that, okay? Crickets when Biden was wrapping illegals in aluminum foil. Crickets when Obama had them kids in cages, and now all of a sudden, under Trump, Ron DeSantis, you got Alligator Alcatraz, okay, illegals in tents, right? Now all of a sudden they're upset, they're pissed, okay? And that's what we have to react to here today. But before we get into it, I want to say this to all you Negroes out there, always boo-hoo on and crying about, we don't have any opportunities. This is a great opportunity. You better go and make some money, right? You better go and make some money because I see that Alligator Alcatraz is hiring, okay? We're talking about $25 an hour, no tax on overtime because of the big, beautiful bill, okay? You're talking about working 60 hours a week, okay? So you're getting overtime, okay? Time and a half, no taxes, okay? $25 an hour to basically guard some illegals. You better go out here and get this money. All this money gonna be floating around for you to be rounding up and guarding some illegals, right? These facilities. You better go and make your money, right? I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, we ain't got no opportunity. You better go out there and get you some. You better go out there and get you some of that money, right? It's floating around, okay? This is an economy. It's gonna be a big economy under the Trump administration, okay? Detaining, rounding up, and deporting illegals. It's going to be a huge opportunity. You better get on it. I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear no, oh, the white man. No, the white man is giving you a prime opportunity. Okay? Prime opportunity. You better take it. You better take it. So, without further ado, let's get into this.
They opened the door. There was about 6 security guards standing there, kind of pushing us back, but we could see in and we could hear everybody. And when those doors opened, you know, what I saw made my heart sink. I saw 32 people per cage, about 6 cages in the one tent. I saw a lot of people, young men who looked like me and people who were my age. People were yelling, help me, help me. I heard in the back someone say, I'm a U.S. citizen. And as we were walking away, they started chanting, leave it that, leave it that, leave it that, freedom. And looking into these cages, you could see, of course, it was warm and hot within the tent. People were sweating. Some people had taken off the top of their clothing because it was just so hot. Some of them were drenched in sweat. The food we saw is not enough food. They were being fed essentially a small sandwich and a bag of chips.
Oh man, terrible, bro. Absolutely terrible, bro. Oh man, it's Florida, bro. They hot, right? I'm pretty sure everywhere in Florida during the summertime is hot. It's hard not to be hot in Florida during the summertime. But yeah, man, terrible conditions. Terrible. They were screaming, they were yelling, oh, I'm an American, right? They were being fed sandwiches. Oh God, right? Terrible, absolutely terrible stuff, right?
And not just that, but the conditions outside, of course, it's blazing hot.
Florida, bro. I don't understand. Like, everywhere in Florida right now is hot as hell.
The fact that into the cage comes from the toilet. Number one, not everyone's going to be able to drink as much water as they'd like to because of that inconvenience, but also it's gross and it's disgusting, and this is where people are being held.
Yeah, so you see that, you hear that. Okay, that's Maxwell Frost, a woke Democrat, who I believe also went all the way to El Salvador for, what's his face? Branco Garcia. So again, Democrats once again showed us where their priorities are, right? This is Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She's also sounding the alarm on the inhumane conditions that the illegals are living in. That, in my opinion, don't sound all that inhumane, to be honest with you. But let's get into it.
Let's be clear, throughout this entire tour, it was repeated over and over that the state is working hand in glove with ICE. This facility was inspected by ICE. They review their detention standards. They are using CAGES.
What's wrong with that? I'm trying to figure out what is so controversial about the state working with ICE. ICE reviewed it to make sure that it meets their standards, which is something that you would want, right? I mean, considering how, again, this is, you know, mainly supposed to be the job of the federal government, according to these people, right? If it's the job of the federal government to deport the illegals, then why would you not want the federal government to be inspecting the facilities to make sure they live up to federal standards, right? That is something that you should want. You should want the state and the federal government working together on this. I don't understand what's so controversial about it.
These detainees are living in cages. The pictures that you've seen don't do it justice. They are essentially packed into cages, wall-to-wall humans, 32 detainees per cage. That is the only thing inside those cages are their bunk beds, and there are 3 tiny toilets that are toilet units that have a sink attached to it. So they essentially drink, they get their drinking water and they brush their teeth, where they poop in the same unit. They bragged that they went above standards, supposedly, and gave them a 3-foot privacy wall that stretches the length inside the 32 detainee cage, a 3-foot privacy wall that stretches the length of the 3 toilets in a row. The showers provide no privacy at all. There are no curtains on it. It's a big open shower unit. There are, small walls in each shower, but we're talking about all 900 men who are held in this facility. It is built currently for 1,000, and they have no privacy at all when they're showering.
I'm still trying to figure out what's so inhumane about this. What's wrong with this? I'm not trying to figure out how are the Florida officials doing the illegals wrong, right? Because they got to take a shit in front of everybody? I mean, is that really that bad? I mean, like, come on. Like, really? Seriously? Is that really what you complain about? Oh, they don't have any privacy. Have you ever been in a men's locker room, right? Like, I mean, growing up playing football, I mean, like, I'm just saying, I mean, the shower kind of being an open area was kind of like a thing, right? I mean, hey, hopefully you didn't have any meat watchers, right? Hopefully you didn't have any meat watchers, but, I mean, hey, that's just kind of what it is, okay? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what's terrible about this. I mean, it don't sound that bad to me, to be honest with you. But, I mean, if you think that it's bad, the whole point, again, is a deterrent. If you don't want to end up in one of these facilities, then, hey, just don't come here illegally. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. Again, Democrats don't understand the concept of deterrence, right? It's not supposed to be a 5-star hotel, which apparently that is how Democrats, right, under Biden, they showed us. That's how they think illegals should be living, right? Illegals should be housed in 5-star hotels. When they come into the country illegally, put them in hotels and motels, right? Have them living better than a vast majority of the Americans living in ghettos, right? That is what Democrats believe. And that's why a lot of this is so shameful, because, again, where are these people complaining about the living conditions of Americans in some of the worst neighborhoods in these liberal cities? You don't have them complaining at all about that, right? That's what they really should be complaining about.
For meals, when we walked through the quote-unquote meal prep area, the kitchen area, for lack of a better term, they had the portions that were available for detainees, and they had the portions that were available for employees being prepared at the same time. The portions available for employees, large pieces of roast chicken, large sausages, and the detainees' lunches were a small, to gray turkey and cheese sandwich, an apple, and chips.
What's wrong with that? That's a lot of calories. That's at least 600 or 700 calories right there. A sandwich, a chip, and some apples. That's good. I feel like from where a lot of these illegals are from, that's probably a good dinner, right? That's probably a great meal for them. Again, this is what Democrats are complaining about. Oh, the illegals are getting turkey sandwiches. Oh, that's so terrible. Oh, the illegals are getting bags of chips and apple. Man, that sounds like good nutrition to me. They eating good up in there. Okay, they eating good. They could be eating slop. They could be eating oatmeal, right? If I was running there, I'd be having them eating slop, okay, gruel, which is what, a majority of the poor, okay, across the world eat gruel. That's what they eat, okay? The illegals are eating better than a vast majority of the poor across the world, okay? So, again, I don't understand what the problem is here.
And that's it. We're talking about fully grown men being fed very small portions.
Sandwiches. Sandwiches. That's what they complaining about, bruh. And they even trying to sue, right? They're trying to sue Ron DeSantis in the state over this.
Governor DeSantis, do you have a comment about Florida Democrats filing a lawsuit over not being granted access to Alligator Alcatraz?
Sorry. First of all, you know that it was announced that there's going to be tours on Saturday. All legislators, state and federal. So that was announced. And then what did they do the next day? They filed a frivolous lawsuit saying we're not having access when they were obviously granted access. So this is frivolous litigation. This is a ridiculous lawsuit. First of all, they don't have a right to win even if we didn't grant access because they're misapplying statutes. They should be sanctioned by the court for abusing the legal system. They should seek sanctions in the defense, and a judge should award sanctions against these guys. They're posturing politically. But I would say this, Democrats care more about illegal aliens than they do about American citizens. I've never seen these Democrats fight this hard.
Hey, I agree. Again, they sued for access to the facility, right? They begged to get in, let us in, and then they got in, and now they're complaining. They're boohoo, whining, and crying, right? Hey, you can't satisfy these people. Regardless, this is a great move by DeSantis. Okay, DeSantis is a dark horse. I'm telling you guys, 2028. DeSantis is a dark horse, okay? He's a dark horse. He might give JD a run for his money, okay? JD being VP is not necessarily going to mean that he's a shoo-in, because DeSantis, I'm telling you, when you talk about an executive, a guy that has a proven track record of executing, okay, of running a state, okay? I don't think anybody has a better track record than DeSantis, and I just believe that at this point, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. It's going to be DeSantis' revenge, right, in 2028, because he didn't do that good when he ran in the primaries in this election. But now that, Trump is termed out, hey, it could be his time. It could be his time, and I think that he's making some good moves. I think that he is making the right moves, to be honest with you. Again, a guy that can execute, and he is executing flawlessly. He is, he's doing all the right things, to be honest with you. These Democrats are pissed. They're upset. They're mad. But he's laid out a roadmap for doing this, right? And now, apparently, they're going to be building more of these facilities across the country, as they should. Again, I believe in deterrence, okay? I believe in not incentivizing people to come to the country illegally, right? And that's what this is all about, okay? I'm about law and order. I know Democrats don't like that, but that's the country that we live in, okay? We have to have law and order in this country. And if we don't have law and order, then it's a problem, right? It's a big problem. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.